Week 16 of the NFL season is here, and man, has this season flown by quickly. MVP conversations heating up, and I think it's probably between these four gentlemen of who's going to take home the trophy. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Eric, aka Doc, coming at you with another video on our Triple Play YouTube channel, and here to give you a breakdown of the MVP candidates and ultimately who I think is going to take it home. We're going to start with the man who's probably been leading it all season, and that's Mr. Tom Brady, age 44, aging like fine wine. So we're going to look at some of the counting stats he has. Right now, he's first in yards with 4,300 plus, first in touchdowns with 36, ever tied with the fourth most amount of interceptions at 11. Same with QBR at 64.1. The team record is 10-4, which is second in the NFC. He has a couple big wins. Week 1 against the Cowboys, 31-29. At the Patriots, week 4, 19-17. And then versus the Bills, 33-27. Now, it's going to be interesting for Brady is the next couple weeks he won't have Chris Godwin. He's not going to have Leonard Fournette. Mike Evans is questionable this week due to a strained hamstring. So we'll see how the next 3 weeks really affect his MVP performance. I assume that he's going to be playing all 3 games as Tampa tries to get the number 1 seed. Next, we're going to go to that bad man, the unvaccinated or the immunized quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. His counting stats not as impressive. He's thrown for 3,487 yards, which is 10th in the NFL. Now, keep in mind, he did miss a game as he was immunized. His touchdowns, he has 30 on the year, which is 5th, and 4 interceptions. That's towards the bottom tier of quarterbacks. And then QBR 67.3, so he's first in that. The team record is 11-3. They're currently first in the NFC, and they've had some impressive wins at San Francisco, a team they normally struggle against, 30-28. Versus the Rams, a 36-28 win as well. And most recently at the Ravens, 31-30. Now, I know Lamar Jackson didn't play that game, but he did have to outscore the Ravens. Tyler Huntley played a great game as well. So got to give kudos to Aaron Rodgers. He also does have a road win at Cincinnati, 25-22. Next, we're going to go to the person that people might think could be the future GOAT, and that's Patrick Mahomes. Now, the Chiefs are on a 7-game winning streak, so I think that's put him back in the conversation. Passing yards, he's a little over 4,000, ranking him 5th in the NFL. His touchdowns, he has 30 on the year, so that's tied with Aaron Rodgers, 5th overall. His interceptions, this is kind of what we've seen from Patrick Mahomes this year that we haven't in the past. He has 13, which is tied for second. Now, I know he's had a lot of bad luck with Tyreek Hill drops and ones that have kind of haven't been his fault, but regardless, that doesn't change the career high we've seen from him. It's affected his QBR. He's 58.2, which is 5th. Now, with that 7-game winning streak, the Chiefs are 10-4. They're currently in first in the AFC, holding that wild card or the first round bye. So if they can get their last 3, I think that certainly puts them back in. And once again, some big wins against the Cowboys, 19-9, the Packers, 13-7, and at Chargers this past Thursday night, where they had a great comeback, which I think kind of put him back up in the MVP conversation. And I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the career year that Jonathan Taylor's having and flexing rightfully so. So his yards, he has 1,518, which is first in the NFL. Now, just to show you how much he's running away with that category, Joe Mixon is second with 1,094. So he has an over 400 lead on him. Touchdowns, he has 17 rushing touchdowns, which puts him first. He has 20-plus yard rushes he has 11 carries of 20 or more yards, which NFL.com qualifies as big rushes. And he's first in that as well. His yards per carry, he's at 5.6 for the season, which is also first. Minimum 140 attempts. Now, I use that number as most teams have played 14 games. So an average of 10 a game, I feel like that's a good number. Now, I know wins are kind of a QB stat, but I wanted to keep it consistent. They had that blowout win at Buffalo that I don't think many people expected coming, 41-15. At San Francisco, 30-18. And then most recently, against the Patriots, 27-17, and he had that 83-yard touchdown to kind of help seal it. All 4 of these guys are MVP candidates, people that you want on your team. Honorable mention to Micah Parsons. What he's doing as a defensive player, and especially as a rookie, is unheard of. I just don't think they're going to give that award. So the winner for me, I think you have to go with Aaron Rodgers. Now, counting stats aside, you can look at what the Packers have done with and without him. Now they have 11-3 record, but they're actually 11-2 with Aaron Rodgers starting at the quarterback position. Remember, they had that loss against the Chiefs when Jordan Love was starting. So the two losses he had was week 1 against the Saints when they got blown out 38-3. Now, obviously, week 1 teams are getting things right. It's the first game back after a long offseason. And then the only other loss he had was the 31-30 game against the Vikings, where he actually put them up when the final couple minutes with a touchdown to MVS, and Kirk Cousins drove down the field. Now, with Tom Brady, he's had a couple bad losses. He has gotten swept by the Saints, most recently 9-0, so getting shut out this year. 29-19 at Washington and 34-24 against the Rams. Now, the counting stats are good, but he's also thrown the ball the most amount and probably has the best receiving core out of all of these. Patrick Mahomes, I think he's thrown too many interceptions, and got to give shout out to the Chiefs D. They held, besides the most recent game against the Chargers, they held the previous 6 opponents under 20 points. Now, Mahomes' numbers have been inflated a lot because his most recent game against the Raiders, where he's just shredded them. But overall, he's been pretty inconsistent this year. And I don't want to discredit Jonathan Taylor because he's having an amazing year as well. But typically, MVP is a QB award. A running back hasn't won it since 2012 when Adrian Peterson had it coming off ACL surgery. Now, keep in mind, he also rushed for over 2,100 yards that season. So maybe if Jonathan Taylor can keep this pace and the Colts overtake the Titans for the division, that he's going to win MVP. But right now, the way that Aaron Rodgers is playing and just how effective he is with the ball, especially those low interceptions, I think that he's the winner. Let me know in your thoughts. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Do you think Aaron Rodgers should win? Do you think any of these guys should win? Is there somebody that I didn't mention? Appreciate you guys all tuning in. I think it's been a great NFL season, COVID and injuries aside. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and make sure you catch us on the next one.